until we get more students, remember that last time your colleague Zaid Al-Khatib had an excellent presentation about precedence, and the precedence is a straightforward relation. So in English, the linear order is from left to right. I'll be with you, Rawhiya, just a minute. From left to right. So what we write first, or what we say first, what we speak first, precedes other things. And if A precedes B, then A and everything under A must precede B and everything under B. Immediate precedence, A precedes B if there is no intervening nodes between them. If there is an intervening node, then we say that A precedes B, but not immediately. Rawhiya?
Yes, doctor. Can you hear me?
Rawhiya?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Sorry to say this late, but if anyone wants to present and needs help for designing or preparing the slides, I can fully prepare the slides and he just present or explain it.
Okay, so you mean in formatting and...
Yes.
Yeah, yeah, you presented before.
Yes.
And yeah, so your colleague Rawhiya is offering to help if anyone is willing to present and he or she needs help in formatting, designing, adding colors, pictures, photos here and there. You can ask Rawhiya for help. Thank you very much, Rawhiya. Today we have okay, remember that so far we are done with two structural relations: domination, including exhaustive domination and immediate domination, and precedence. Now today we are going to discuss the most important, I would say, structural relation. I agree with Andrew Carney, the most important structural relation, which is C-command. And here, I personally have great expectations for the presentations from Bushra and Noor and Sora. They presented in Introduction to Linguistics. They had an excellent, I would say, marvelous, amazing presentations in Introduction to Linguistics. So we are waiting for such an excellent presentation or presentation from each one of you. So Bushra and Sora and Noor will be talking about C-command and government and the grammatical relations. So the floor is yours. Bushra will be the first presenter.
Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to our group presentation. I am Bushra Amer, and I'd like to thank you guys for being here today. In this presentation, we're going to discuss three important topics, which are C-command, government, and grammatical relations. In the previous lectures, we've discussed two structural relations, which are domination and precedence. Now we're going to move and discuss the last and most important relation, which is C-command. C-command has three types. The first one is general C-command, and the second one is symmetric C-command, and the last one is asymmetric C-command. Now the question is, what does C-command means? C-command means that node X, sorry, but I can't see whole screen.
Yeah, we can. Are you using a smartphone or a laptop?
The laptop, but I have here mute, start video. Okay.
Yeah,
Node
I can.
X,
Personally,
C
yeah,
command,
I can see.
node Y. If every node dominating X also dominates Y, and neither X nor Y dominates the other. This simply means that X and Y are sisters. So X C commands its sister Y and everything underneath its sister. Okay? Please don't think much about this because I'm going to try to make this easier to understand. C command is a relation, okay, where you can go up once, all right, and then go down as much as you want, okay? Let's see how this works. Now, from N, we can trace up a line and then go down. So it's obvious that N C commands O, A, B, C, D, E, F, and G. Now let's see what E C command. Now from E, we can go up once and then down. So here we have only F. So E C commands F. Now how about G? What does G C command? Well, G C command nothing. Why? Because if we try to go up once, then it's okay. But we cannot go down. So this means that G C commands 5. Now, the second type is a symmetric C command. Also, I can't see the screen.
I don't know. I can see it personally. I can.
Okay, now symmetric C command means that X symmetrically C commands Y if X C commands Y and Y C commands X. In other words, if X and Y are sisters, then they are we are here. Okay. Now, if X and Y are sisters, then they are symmetrically each other. In this tree, we have 4 examples of symmetric C command. Let's discover them. The first, N symmetrically C commands O, and O symmetrically C commands N. Then we have A symmetrically C commands B, and B symmetrically C commands A. Then the third one is between C and D. C symmetrically C commands D, and D symmetrically C commands C. The last one is between E and F. E symmetrically C commands F, and so does F.
Bravo.
Okay.
Bravo. Now, Bushra, if I ask you or ask your colleagues, does F C command G?
No.
Why no?
Because if we trace up a line, we can trace up a line once. We cannot trace twice.
In simple words, F and G are not. Ala, Bushra, anyone?
Can I?
Not sisters.
They are not sisters.
Yeah.
Hamza?
Yes, they are not sisters.
Yeah. Ala, the same answer?
Yes, doctor.
Yeah. So F and G are not sisters. So remember, in simple words, as in her excellent presentation, as Bushra has shown, that C command is a relation between sisters. So the sister, C commands its sister or sisters and everything under the sister. So N in this tree C commands O and A and B and C and D and E and F and etc. But as Bushra is telling you that symmetric C command is only between sisters. So N symmetrically C commands O. Why? Because N C commands O and O C commands N. As Bushra has shown you the 4 symmetric C commands in this tree. Excellent, Bushra. Bravo.
Okay, so as the doctor said, we can conclude that this relation holds only between sisters.
Excellent.
Now, the last type is asymmetric C command. X asymmetrically C commands Y if X C commands Y, but Y does not C command X. Now, if I ask you in this tree, does N C commands A? Then yes, it does. But if I ask you, does A C commands N? Well, let's see. Now, we can from A, we can go up once, as we said. Then we stop here. Okay, that's going up once. So as soon as you get another node, that means that you've gone up once. Going up twice, okay, in this way, means that going up twice. So, and this is against the rule. So therefore, A does not C commands N, okay? So as a result, N asymmetrically, okay, C commands A, because N C commands A, but A does not C command N. Okay.
Excellent. This is
now
very important.
Let's see what N asymmetrically C commands. Now, trace up a line and go down. Here we have O. N does not asymmetrically C command O, because O is symmetrically C commanded by N. Okay, now let's keep going. N asymmetrically C commands A, B, C, D, E, F, and G for the same reason.
Bravo, yeah.
Hopefully, this is not too hard to wrap your head around. If you understand this topic, then you will easily understand Surah's topic, which is government. And thank you for listening. And now the floor is yours.
Bravo, 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 Bushra. Excellent, excellent. As expected, this is really an amazing presentation, straightforward, very clear, and this is a very nice presentation. Many thanks, Bushra. This is a great job, really. And as Bushra mentioned, that here, this is a relation between, C command is a relation between sisters. If A and B are sisters, then AC commands B and BC commands A, in other words. So this is symmetric C command. After this great presentation from Bushra, inshallah, I hope to see you in the MA program, Bushra, and all the students, of course, and Surah and Noor, and the MA program in our department or in another place, because I'm so happy to see that we have excellent students who can provide or give such excellent presentations. Now the floor is yours. Surah will continue talking about C command, and she's going to talk about government. Surah, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Bushra, and hi everyone. Now Surah is talking. Bushra has told you that I'm going to talk about something that is related to C command, which is government. We need to know that government has 3 types, and these types are general government, head government, and phrase government. Let's start with the first type, general government. Basically, general government means that Node A governs Node B if 1. A secommands B. 2. There's no Node G that is secomanded by A and asymmetrically secommands B. Let's make that easier to understand by applying it on a tree. So let's take a look at.
So Sora, remember, Sora, sorry for the interruption. Remember that we said we have immediate domination and we have immediate precedence. Do we have immediate C command?
Yes, this is the government.
Yes, but what do we call it?
Government.
Excellent. So in syntax, we don't say, we say A immediately dominates B. We say A immediately precedes B, but we don't say A immediately C commands B. We use A governs B. Excellent, Sora. Yes.
So in this tree, does A C commands B? Yes. This is about.
Does A C command B? Yes.
This is about the first condition. So the first condition is applied. Now, regarding the second condition, we notice that we do not have such node. So A governs B. Now, what if we have that node in our tree? Let's see the next example. In this tree, let's test if A governs B. We can see that A secommands B, but there's a node G that is secomanded by A and asymmetrically secommands B. So we conclude that A does not govern B because node G intervenes between them. So this is basically the general government. And now we're gonna move to more specific types.
Yeah, I mean, this is very nice. So this is, thank you, Sora and Bushra, for using different colors, trees, arrows. So this is excellent. So in this case, C command and government, these are not easy topics, but with such excellent presentations so far, they seem to be a piece of cake.
Thank you.
Here, as Sora mentioned, A C commands B, but A does not govern B. In other words, this is not an immediate C command. Why? Because we have an intervening node G, as Sora mentioned, that is C commanded by A, and also at the same time, G C commands B asymmetrically. So G is an intervening node in this case. Bravo, Sora. Excellent.
Thank you. Now we have head government. Until this point, we have already discussed that node A governs node B if A C commands B, and there's no node G that is C commanded by A and asymmetrically C commands B. So what is special about this type is that the interveners must be heads. Therefore, if the governor is a head, then what count as interveners are only other heads. Let's explain this using this tree. Now the question is, does A govern B? Let's break the tree down. First of all, A, which is the governor, is the head. Now, according to what I said in the latest slide, that what count as interveners are only heads, then we can figure out that the phrasal ones do not count. So we notice that we have here 4 phrases, which are MP, OP, GP, and PP. But we are going to focus on only MP and GP. So please forget about OP and PP because they do not see command B. So they violated the first condition.
They dominate.
Yes.
Yes.
Now,
so remember, if there is domination, then there is no C command.
Now let's go back to MP and GP. Do they intervene between A and B? Absolutely not, because they are phrases. So they do not count as interveners for head government.
Nice. So do they C command B?
I'm going to talk about this.
Okay.
Okay. So A governs B, and we conclude that head government is, if A is a head, then G must also be a head. Now, before we move to our next type, you may ask, since M and G are heads, so how it comes that A governs B? Simply because M and G do not see command B, and you should be careful about this point. Now, let's continue. Our last type is a phrase government. We have already discussed that node A governs node B if A C commands B, and there's no node G that is C commanded by A and symmetrically C commands B. And we have already known what is special about head government. Now, we need to know what is special about a phrase government. Actually, phrase government is very similar to head government, but the difference is that the interveners must be phrases. So, if the governor is a phrase, then what count as interveners are only other phrases. Now, in this tree, the governor, which is AP, is a phrase. And notice that there's no node intervenes between AP and B. If you remember that in a phrase government, the interveners must be phrases. But here, we have M and G, and they are heads. Therefore, they do not count as interveners for phrase government. So AP governs B, and we conclude that phrase government is, if A is a phrase, then G must also be a phrase. Now, do you think that GP and BP in this tree count as interveners since they are phrases? If you want to answer, please raise your hand, or you can write your answer in the chat box.
Yeah, this is a good question. Do we consider GP and BP as interveners? Because here we are asking about AP, and AP is a phrase. So the intervener need to be a phrase. Bushra?
No, because they don't see command B, and they are dominating B.
Yeah, this is the perfect answer. No, simply because GP and BP dominate B.
Yes, this is the...
And remember, they do not see command. So if there is domination relation between two nodes, then there is no C command relation between them.
Yes, that's the reason. Now, I hope that everything is clear, and this is the end of C command, but it is not the end of our presentation. So I'm going to hand the presentation over to Noor to complete with you, and thank you.
Excellent, excellent. I think with this excellent and marvelous presentation, this difficult topic should be crystal clear to all of you. So believe me, so Bushra and Noor, Bushra and Surah, I would say their presentations, I would say if not the same, maybe better or from some of the presentations in the MA level. Excellent. So really, it is a pleasure. It is an honor also to have students like Bushra and Noor and Surah in our BA program, and inshallah we will see them. I know that there are in this section we have 95 students. I know that there are many excellent students who already presented and excellent students who inshallah will be presenting. So thank you very much, Surah. Thank you.
Thank you, Doctor.
Yeah. Bravo for this great presentation. So now your colleague Noor is going to continue what Bushra and Surah have started. The floor is yours, Noor.
Yeah. Hello, everybody. I'd like to thank Bushra and Surah of their great presented. Let me start by introducing myself. I am Norma Nasra, and now we are gonna move to a completely different topic, which is grammatical relation. Just a minute. Yeah. Indeed, grammatical relation consists of subject, direct object, indirect object, and object of a preposition. Also, we have the oblique. So let's start with the first grammatical relation, which is the subject. Here, the subject is the MP or CP, daughter of TP. So let's see how the subject can be an NP. Yeah, in this tree, we have a gap. So a gap is the subject, which is the MB that is daughter of TP. On the other hand, how can the subject be a CP? Let's take a look at this tree. So here that Agabi smiled, the constituents that Agabi smiled is the subject. This is the subject is the CB daughter of TP. Now, Now let's move to the second grammatical relation, that is objects. And actually there are three types of objects. Yeah, the first one is the direct object. Please, guys, here we need to pay attention to the features that, of the verb that we use in the sentences. So the direct object is MP or CB, daughter of VP. Please, guys, focus that here is the MP or CB should be daughter of the VP. So let's see some examples. Yeah. In this tree, we have Agab started the meeting. So the constituents here, the meeting is the MB that is daughter of VP, headed by the transitive verb started that has the feature MP underscore MP. As we have discussed that the direct object can be either MP or CP. Let's see how the direct object can be a CP. So in this tree diagram, we have Agab wonders if I send the email. Yeah, in this tree, the constituents, if I send the email, is the CB that is daughter of VB headed by the transitive verb wonders and which has the feature MP underscore CP. Yeah, guys. Now, in this case, in the case that we have a verb like bought that has the feature MP underscore MPPP, like in the example, Agab bought the book on the table. So here the MP, so the first MP here that precedes the PP is the direct object. Now, what if we have a verb like ask that has the feature MP underscore MP, either MP or CP? Yeah, in this case, guys, the second MP must be a direct object. So here, me is the first MP, and a question, the constituents, a question is the second MP, and that is the direct object. And guys, we want to apply it to the CP. So here, Agab asked me if I know the answer. Here, the entire CP functions as a direct object. Okay, now let's move to the second type of objects, which is the indirect object. The indirect object actually is a prepositional phrase or MP daughter of VP. Now, we have this example. Agab sent an email to Adam. When we have a verb like sent that has the feature MP underscore MPPP, then the PP here is the direct object. So like the PP here to Adam is the direct object. So in general, according to
the end, you mean?
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, so in general, according to our book, when we have a PP that is a daughter of VP and immediately preceded by MP, then it is an indirect object. Now let's move. Yeah, now let's move to the last type. Oh, sorry, we have another example here, which is Agab told me a secret. Now, when we have a verb that requires two objects, like told, then the first object in the feature, which is the MP, is the indirect object. So in the sentence, Agab told Adam a secret. Here, the MP is the indirect object.
Yes,
now,
Adam is the indirect object. Yes.
Yeah, sorry. Now, let's move to the last type of objects, which is the object of a preposition. We can consider object of a preposition is simply defined as noun MP, daughter of VP. And this tree shows us that the MP is daughter of PP that headed by the preposition on, and that's the object of a preposition. Then we're gonna move to the last and the most important grammatical relation, which is the oblique. So you need to know that any NPs or PP that is not a subject or any type of object, it is an oblique. So now we need, so in this tree, Agab discussed the question with his students. Here we have the prepositional phrase with his student. We consider it as an oblique. Why? Actually, because this is not a subject and not any type of object, so it is an oblique. Now we need to know how to distinguish between the two type, which is oblique and the object. Yeah.
Yeah, this is a very important question.
Yeah. And the
how
types
to differentiate between them. Yeah, the oblique
such
and the
as
object.
the indirect object. Yeah. So take a look to these two trees. In the first one, we have the verb. The first one, Agab gave peanuts to Adam. So we have the verb gave that has the feature MP underscore MP PP. And the PP here is the argument of its feature. Then, so the PP is an indirect object. Now, regarding to the second tree, when we have verb like ate, which has the feature MP underscore MP, then we notice that the PP is not an argument of its feature. Then yeah, the PP here is, we consider the PP here is an oblique. So we conclude that in order to distinguish between the objects and the oblique, we need to know the feature of the verbs that we use.
The argument structure, yes.
Yeah, so thank you. And this is the end of our presentation. And thank you, Doctor, for give us this great opportunity to present. And thank you guys for listening.
We should say thank you. So this is for Bushra, and this is for Sora, and this is for Noor. Thank you very much. Thank you. I'm really very happy. I'm proud of you. Really, I'm happy and proud of you. So, and this also, you have had a great timing. Like it is now 1:09. So we still have 1 minute. So I don't know what to say. I'm going to leave this to you. You can judge Bushra and Sora and Noor. Excellent, great presentations, very detailed, excellent students. So this is really amazing. And
I think they are perfect.
Yes. Yes, Hamza, right. Thank you. And inshallah, you will be given the extra marks in the mid. You deserve. I mean, why should we wait until the final? You deserve to be given the bonus or the extra marks for this marvelous presentation from each and every one of you. So this is what we really need. This is what, imagine hard work, how Noor and Bushra and Sora worked very hard to get these slides. Maybe you worked for hours?
Or it takes more than a week actually to prepare the slides.
Hours and hours and hours. So this great work, this excellent work, Cannot be done in 1 hour. Yes, Surah?
Yes, I just say that it takes more than 1 week to prepare the slides.
Surah, we can't hear you very well. Would you please, or at least I. Surah?
I also can't hear her.
Yeah. Yeah, right. Okay, this is great presentation from each one of you. I mean, cannot be done in 1 hour or 2 hours. Yeah, you're right, Surah. So I agree. So you work for more than a week to get such excellent presentation. And this is expected. And inshallah, all my best wishes for you, Noor and Bushra and Surah. You're excellent.
Thank you.
And inshallah, it will be a motivation for other students to work very hard like you. I know this is a big class. We have almost 100, and I know that we have excellent students, right? And we also had excellent presentations from Arij and Rawiya and Ala Jihad and Zaid and Diara and Hiba and Hamza and Ru'a and Zaid again. In Introduction to Linguistics. And yeah, I mean, it was an excellent presentation. And here in syntax, I'm so happy that you were able to do it perfectly.
Thank you. That gladens us.
Your accent, your explanations, your slides, very nice, different colors, arrows, moving circles here and there to show and to follow up. So believe me, C-command, government, these are not easy terms or easy topics in syntax, but your excellent presentations and your excellent slides, your excellent explanations made easy for and crystal clear for your colleagues. So many thanks. Do you have any questions for your colleagues before we finish? Okay, so inshallah next. So technically, this is the end of chapter 4. On Sunday, we will not have class on Sunday or Zoom meeting. I'm going to send you, inshallah, upload an assignment via e-learning on C-command and government and the grammatical relations. And next Tuesday, inshallah, I'll answer your questions. And we talk about, if you have, I'm going to answer the questions if you have questions about structural relations in general, domination, precedence, C-command, and if you have questions about the grammatical relations. And then maybe we discuss or answer 1 or 2 exercises, and then after that we move to chapter 5. And in the previous semester or the one before, I was unable to start chapter 5, but your excellent presentations, I think, helped all of us in being able to do this and start chapter 5. So, inshallah, next Tuesday, we will wrap up the chapter. We will have a look at some exercises, and then we'll move